Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today that might change your life if you let it. Everybody in this room wants success, but most people don't understand how it works. See, we're taught to run after, to hustle harder, chase more, stay up all night. And yes, there's value in hard work. But what I've learned is this: success should follow you. You don't chase it. You grow into the kind of person success wants to be around. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming better. This idea may sound simple on the surface, but it carries the weight of real transformation. Most people grow up being told to go after success like it's a prize sitting somewhere out in the world, far away, just waiting to be caught. And what do? They run, they hustle, they grind every day trying to get closer to it. But what they often miss is the truth that success doesn't come to those who chase it blindly. It comes to those who become the kind of person it naturally follows. You don't have to sprint after it when you're already operating at a level that attracts it. It's not about the pursuit. It's about the preparation. You attract success by focusing on your growth, your discipline, your mindset, and your character. Every single day you have two choices. You can spend your time running after things, money, approval, opportunities, or you can spend your time becoming better. And when you become better, those things start finding you. You want more income? Become more valuable. You want more opportunities? Build more skills. You want better relationships? Become a better communicator, a better listener, a better version of yourself. See, success is like a magnet, but magnets don't attract everything. They only attract what's compatible with their energy. And that's how life works too. If your attitude is wrong, your energy is negative, or your habits are lazy, success doesn't want to be around that. But when you show up with hunger, humility, and purpose, the game changes. You don't have to beg for opportunities. They start knocking on your door. This principle isn't about arrogance, and it's not some cute motivational quote. It's about responsibility. It means taking control of what you can control, your daily habits, your attitude, your commitment to excellence. If you want the doors to open, you have to be someone worth opening the door for. You can't pray for success and prepare for average. You can't ask for blessings and not be in position to receive them. What you attract is always connected to who you are becoming. You don't attract wealth by thinking about wealth. You attract it by becoming disciplined enough to handle money. You don't attract influence by just talking. You attract it by living with consistency and truth. That's how the attraction works. That's how the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, responds to you. Most people live their life reacting. They chasing what's popular. They chasing what looks good on the outside. But the ones who succeed at a high level, they live intentionally. They invest time into themselves when nobody's watching. They read when others scroll. They practice when others relax. They sacrifice sleep, comfort, and temporary pleasure because they understand that permanent growth brings permanent results. And that's why success sticks with them. Because success doesn't stay with someone who tricked their way into it. It stays with someone who became worthy of it, who earned it by sharpening themselves daily. You don't have to compete when you're complete. And completion comes from within. That's how you win. Not by running after things, but by drawing them in with your focus, your fire, your faith, and your refusal to settle for anything less than growth. Discipline and consistency are stronger than motivation. A lot of people wait for motivation to show up before they do something important. They sit around hoping to feel inspired, thinking one day they'll just wake up and be ready to change their lives. But real success doesn't work like that. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, but it burns out fast. You can't depend on something that disappears the moment life gets hard. Discipline is what kicks in when motivation fades. It's the muscle that keeps you moving when everything in you wants to quit. It's the voice that tells you to get up and do the work, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency, on the other hand, is the engine that drives progress. When you show up every single day, whether you feel like it or not, you build something much more powerful than inspiration. You build momentum, and that momentum becomes unstoppable over time. People love the idea of grinding when it's easy. They post about the hustle, they make vision boards and hype up their goals. But what really separates those who succeed from those who just talk about it is the ability to stay consistent when the feeling is gone. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline means you train yourself to do it anyway. It means you hold yourself accountable long after the excitement has worn off. It means your actions are based on your decisions, not your emotions. Because your emotions are unstable. One day you're fired up, and the next day you're tired, discouraged, or distracted. But discipline doesn't care about your mood, it cares about your mission. When you build a routine grounded in discipline and consistency, you create structure, and structure frees you. It gives your life shape. It gives you a foundation to stand on when everything around you feels uncertain. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, they don't rely on motivation, they rely on systems. They set goals, yes, but more importantly, they build habits. Habits don't ask for your permission. Once they're wired into you, they guide your behavior automatically. And that's what you want. You want your goals to stop being something you think about and start being something you live. That only happens through discipline, through daily commitment, through a refusal to break the promise you made to yourself. Most people underestimate how powerful small, consistent efforts are. They think if they can't do it all at once, it's not worth doing. But success doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from stacking bricks, one on top of the other, day after day. It comes from writing the pages, making the calls, hitting the gym, studying the craft, and doing it even when it's boring. Because while everyone else is waiting for motivation to return, you're out there building. You're getting sharper, stronger, and more prepared. That's how champions are made. Not in moments of hype, but in seasons of silence where nobody sees the work, where the lights aren't on, but you still showing up. When you rely on motivation, you get inconsistency. When you live by discipline, you get results. And when you stay consistent with that discipline, success becomes a byproduct of your character. You don't have to chase results when you become the kind of person who produces them naturally. Your discipline becomes your superpower. Your consistency becomes your reputation. People begin to trust you, not just because of what you say, but because of how you show up over and over again. And more importantly, you begin to trust yourself. That's the real reward, knowing that no matter how you feel, you can count on yourself to do what needs to be done. When you operate in your gift, success naturally finds you. Every person on this earth is born with a gift. It's not something you earn or create. It's something that's already inside you, planted deep within your spirit. Your gift is that thing you do effortlessly. It's the thing that lights you up, the thing you'd still do even if no one paid you, the thing that makes you feel alive and at home with yourself. Most people spend their whole life trying to become someone they're not, chasing careers and goals that don't align with who they truly are, and in doing so, they miss the power of their natural gift. But the moment you recognize your gift and start operating from it, the universe begins to move. Doors open, opportunities appear. And it's not because you chased them, it's because you positioned yourself in your purpose. Operating in your gift doesn't mean life gets easy. It means life gets aligned. It means the effort you put in finally starts producing real results, because now you're moving in a lane designed specifically for you. When you're out of alignment, doing what others expect, choosing a safe route, or copying someone else's path, everything feels like a struggle. You may be working hard, but it feels forced. and the results are temporary. But when you're working within your gift, there's a natural flow. Ideas come more freely. People respond to your energy. And even though challenges still show up, they don't shake you the same way because you're walking in truth. The gift you have was given to you for a reason. It's connected to your calling. And your calling is never random. It's built for impact. When you start developing that gift, sharpening it, using it with intention, you stop chasing recognition and start creating value. People start to notice, not because you're trying to be seen, but because what you're doing resonates with them on a deep level. That's the power of a gift. It speaks for you. It opens doors you never thought possible. It creates demand for your presence, your voice, your talent. That's not luck. That's alignment. That's purpose doing what it was designed to do. Too many people ignore their gifts because they don't think it's valuable enough. They think nobody's going to pay me for this, or this isn't practical. But here's the truth. Your gift is where your success lives. You might be good at a lot of things, but you're great at one thing. That one thing, that gift is your lane. The problem is the world often pushes people toward what's profitable instead of what's purposeful. But real success doesn't just show up in your bank account. It shows up in your peace, your impact, and your legacy that comes from your gift. When you operate in your gift, you attract the right people. You no longer need to compete or compare because nobody can outdo you in what you were born to do. That kind of confidence isn't arrogance, it's clarity. It's the understanding that you were created with intention and your gift is the proof. So instead of trying to be everything, focus on becoming exceptional in that one thing. That's where your breakthrough lives. That's where success starts following you instead of you constantly chasing it. And the beautiful thing is, once you begin walking in your gift, you inspire others to do the same. You give them permission to be authentic. And that ripple effect, that's the real success story. It all starts with recognizing, honoring, and operating in your gift. Every single day, your attitude, work ethic, and character set the GPS for your success. Success doesn't just happen by accident or by chance. It follows a direction. And that direction is determined by who you are when no one is watching. Your attitude decides how you respond to challenges. Your work ethic determines how much effort you're willing to put in, even when the reward isn't immediate. And your character, your integrity, your values, your discipline acts as the compass that keeps you on track when distractions and temptations try to pull you off course. These three elements are not just parts of success. They are the foundation. You can have talent, you can have ambition, but if your attitude is negative, your work ethic is lazy, or your character is weak, you'll struggle to get where you want to go or stay there once you arrive. Attitude is everything. It shapes how you see the world and how the world sees you. When you carry a positive, resilient attitude, you attract better energy. You're not blind to problems, you just refuse to be defeated by them. A person with a good attitude will always rise above circumstances. They'll find a way forward. They'll treat people with respect, handle setbacks with grace, and keep showing up with the belief that better is possible. And that belief fuels action. It pushes you to keep trying when others quit. That mindset becomes magnetic, and opportunities tend to find people who carry. Because no one wants to work with someone who complains, doubts, or drags others down. But everyone wants to work with someone who uplifts, encourages, and solves problems. Then there's work ethic. Nothing replaces hard work. Not shortcuts, not connections, not talent. The most successful people are not always the most gifted. They're the most consistent. They show up early. They stay late. They do the boring tasks that others avoid. And they don't just work hard when it's convenient. They work hard when it's uncomfortable. That level of commitment sets them apart because while other people are looking for an easy route, they're building strength through the grind. And over time, that grind pays off. It compounds into mastery. It builds a reputation. It turns effort into excellence. And when excellence becomes your standard, success starts looking for you instead of you chasing it. Character is what keeps you grounded. You can get to the top through talent and hustle, but it's your character that keeps you there. Without integrity, everything falls apart eventually. Character means doing what's right when no one's watching. It means honoring your word, being honest even when it's hard, and treating people well regardless of their status. It means standing firm in your principles, not just when they benefit you, but especially when they cost you something. That kind of strength is rare, and that's exactly why it's so valuable. When people trust your character, they want to do business with you, support you, recommend you. Your name becomes your brand, and that brand becomes a legacy. When you put these three things together, attitude, work ethic, and character, you create a life direction that leads to lasting success. It won't be perfect, and it won't be fast, but it will be real. You'll wake up with purpose, show up with passion, and build something that can't be shaken by circumstances. Because you didn't just get lucky. You became someone worth following, someone success naturally wants to be around. It's not about faking it or forcing it. It's about becoming it. Day by day, through how you think, how you act, and how you carry yourself when nobody's clapping. Stop trying to be liked, be excellent and respected. Too many people waste their energy trying to please everyone around them, seeking approval from family, friends, co-workers, and even strangers who have no impact on their actual purpose. The problem with chasing approval is that it distracts you from your real calling. When you focus on being liked, you start adjusting who you are to fit into places you don't even belong. When you say yes when you should say no, you water down your standards and you hold back your voice just to avoid criticism or rejection. But the truth is, not everyone is supposed to like you, and that's okay. What you should really aim for is excellence. Doing your work, living your truth, and walking in your purpose at such a high level that people may not like you, but they respect you. Respect runs deeper than likes. It sticks even when opinions change. Excellence doesn't mean perfection. It means you show up fully, give your best effort, and take pride in what you do. It means you pay attention to the details, go the extra mile, and treat your craft with care. It means you carry yourself with discipline, speak with clarity, and move with confidence, not arrogance, but conviction. And when people see that level of consistency, they recognize your worth, whether they admit it or not. Some may not applaud you, but deep down they know you're solid. And that kind of reputation opens doors that flattery never could. Respect is earned through action, not popularity. People might not always agree with you, but if you keep showing up with excellence, they'll know you're serious. They'll know you're built different. Trying to be liked is draining because it depends on something you can't control, people's opinions. But being excellent puts the power back in your hands. It focuses your energy inward where growth actually happens. You can control your effort. You can control your mindset. You can control how you treat others and how you carry yourself. And when you focus on those things, you create value that speaks louder than approval. You start to become undeniable, and being undeniable is far more powerful than being popular. Popularity fades, but purpose lasts, respect lasts, excellence lasts. When you stop worrying about being liked, you get time back, you get mental space back, you get the freedom to think, create, and move without second guessing every step. That freedom is priceless. It allows you to operate at your highest level because now You're not living for applause. You're living with intention. You're not seeking attention. You're making an impact. And people notice that. People may not say it to your face, but they watch how you move, observe how you treat others, how you handle challenges, how you speak under pressure. All of that shapes the respect you earn. And once people respect you, doors open. Not because you begged or tried to fit in, but because your excellence demanded space. It takes courage to choose respect over approval. It takes strength to keep pushing forward when your name isn't being praised, when your efforts aren't being recognized, or when your standards make other people uncomfortable. But that's what leaders do. They rise above the noise. They don't get distracted by what's trendy. They stay grounded in who they are and what they've been called to do. And in doing so, they build a name that stands long after the trends fade. People may not always like your decisions, your discipline, or your drive. But when you do it with integrity and excellence, they will respect it. And in the long run, that respect becomes a foundation that fame could never match. Success follows those who walk in faith, not fear. Every great achievement, every powerful transformation, every major shift in life begins with a step of faith. It's that decision to move forward even when you can't see the full path. It's trusting the process before the results show up. People often hold themselves back because they're waiting to feel ready, waiting for certainty, waiting for everything to make perfect sense. But success doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It waits for you to believe. Fear is the number one thing that stops people from reaching their full potential. It whispers lies like, you're not good enough. What if you fail? Or you don't have what it takes. And if you listen long enough, fear will paralyze you. It'll have you stuck in your comfort zone, surrounded by missed opportunities and what ifs. Faith, on the other hand, is bold. It takes risks. It says, even if I don't have all the answers, I'm moving anyway. Walking in faith means you act on purpose, not on fear. It means you speak up when it's uncomfortable. It means you pursue goals that stretch you. It means you trust that your efforts will pay off even if there's no evidence right now. It's easy to be confident when everything is going right, when doors are opening, when the money is flowing, and the support is strong. But walking in faith means you show up with that same energy even when things feel uncertain. That's when true growth happens. That's when character is built. And that's when success starts taking notice. Success isn't just about talent or strategy. It's about belief. It follows the ones who keep pushing forward in the dark, the ones who keep building even when no one claps, the ones who refuse to let fear write their story. There will always be reasons to be afraid. The world is full of doubt, criticism, failure, and risk. But if you wait until fear disappears, you'll never move. Faith is choosing to move with fear, sitting in the passenger seat, but not letting it drive. It's making decisions based on vision, not based on fear of rejection or loss. It's trusting your gift, your grind, and the grace that's been given to you. It's about knowing that if you plant seeds in the right season, something will grow, even if you can't see the roots forming yet. That kind of belief creates momentum. It attracts support, aligns opportunities, and builds resilience. People who walk in faith don't need guarantees. They create results through commitment and trust. When you move in faith, you leave with purpose. You stop reacting to life and start designing it. Fear tells you to shrink. Faith tells you to expand. Fear says play it safe. Faith says play to win. Fear holds your voice hostage. Faith gives it power. Every dream that ever changed the world started with someone who had more faith than fear. And what makes those people different isn't that they had less fear, it's that they chose not to be controlled by it. They chose to keep showing up, keep speaking, keep building, keep believing, even when the odds didn't make sense. Faith isn't a feeling, it's a decision to trust your purpose, your preparation, and the process. And when you make that decision daily, success can't help but follow, because success recognizes courage, it recognizes endurance, it recognizes someone who keeps getting up after every fall, someone who doesn't need all the lights green to start moving, someone who knows that fear is loud, but faith is louder when it's backed by action. Faith doesn't guarantee comfort. It guarantees growth. And with growth comes strength, clarity, and the kind of success that doesn't just change your life, it transforms the lives of everyone around you.